Today we'll be talking about something very important and very powerful. In this video, I'll be showing you how to turn your knowledge to money. Even when you think you are not an expert, you can turn your knowledge, everything you have learned in the course of your job, in the course of doing one thing or the other, when people are asking you for help to do this, even in your struggles, I will show you how to turn it to money. In my own time, I used my struggle when I was walking the streets of Abuja to look for job, employment. I was not able to get my dream job, but I was able to use the struggles, the experience I got during these struggles to be able to build a business that gave me millions. That is how it works, and I will be showing you how I did that in this video. Now, understand something. Anytime you are doing a job, whatever job it is that you are doing, whatever you are doing at all, anytime you are doing that, please pay attention to the details of that job so that you learn it and learn it very well. Now, that experience you had at that time can become money for you if you are actually ready to use it. So, but the thing is that sometimes when people get a job, they treat it as if it is not important. But when you are dedicated to your job, you understand every details about that job. And in future, you may turn it to money. Though me as a person, I never knew I would turn my own experience to money. But when it was time and I understood that this experience, actually I can use it and monetize it, I turned it to money. But when I was starting off, to tell you the truth, I never knew I can turn it to money. But in the course of my business, in the course of doing things, I now realize that, yes, those experiences I had, though, I can actually use it in this particular situation and then use it to make money for myself. That was my journey. That was how I started. And I want you to know that any experience you have now, even if you are on the job, you have not resigned, or you have resigned and you want to start something, the experience you have while working is a gold. The experience you have while trying to solve one challenge or the other is a gold. The experience you have while helping people out to do one thing or the other is capital that you can turn to money. It depends on how you were able to utilize it, how you were able to harness it. That is the only thing that will help you in this journey of wealth building. Because most times, you may not have the capital to start, or you may not even know where to start from. But when you go back to check your experiences, it can actually be a starting point for you. My own story started when I finished my secondary school. I got a job in a hotel as a cleaner. In fact, that was where I had my experience, my hotel experience, that helped me to get the waiter job I used to refer to. So I started as a cleaner. They used to call it porter in a hotel. And then our job is in the housekeeping department. And what do? We clean rooms. When the guests have finished using the room, we go there and clean it up. And then while doing that cleaning, anything cleaning within the hotel, it is our job to do it. In fact, that was how I learned how to do cleaning and do it very well. And because of my dedication in that job, it did not take me long to become a supervisor. I became a supervisor because I was very dedicated. I do my job and do it very well. And then when I got admission to go to the university, it was easy for me to convince the management to place me on afternoon and night duty so that I can be going to school in the morning. And that was how I finished my university, not lacking money. So I was working and I was going to school. And then when it was time for me to go for youth service, I resigned. That was when I left the company and then went for my youth service. And they actually gave me opportunity to come back after my youth service, but I wanted to change our environment. I wanted to go elsewhere and then start my journey. And that was how I came to Abuja. And the first job I got in Abuja is a waiter job because of that experience, because already I have experience in the hotel field. So it was easy for me to get a waiter job. After walking the streets of Abuja without getting the job of my dream, and hunger was so much on me. And then when the waiter offer came, I have to take it so that at least I can survive. So that was how I got the waiter job. But after doing that waiter job for like, I think I stayed there for 3 years and resigned. I used all these experiences combined together and used it to build wealth for myself. Now you out there, you have been on a job for some time. What are you doing with it? You have a banking experience. Why don't you start a micro lending firm where you collect money to save from, market women and other artisans that are out there looking for somebody that will help them to save money? Why don't you go to them, print your card, start saving for them, and start lending to those who wants to, to borrow money? In fact, let me tell you, if you don't know, this is one area people are making a lot of money, because there is so much money in this area of, borrowing and savings and lending. And our banks do not serve this set of people, because the way the bank is structured, it may not actually give good services to this set of people. You who have that banking experience, why don't you go and serve this population, which is so much, and then make money for yourself? That is how it starts. You have been working in a bread bakery for a very long time. You know how to do everything. You know how to operate everything. Why don't you start a small bakery? But you are stranded. You don't know where to start. You have been barbing in a shop for a very long time. Why don't you get a clipper and start your own barbing shop? That is how it starts. You don't wait until you have everything okay. You don't wait until everything is okay, or you have done this or done that. Start with the experience you have. Any experience you have today is something that will help you to make money. But we do overlook it because we think that it does not count. It does not, no, that is the way we look at it. Not knowing that any experience you have is a gold mine. So I'm telling you today that you are sitting on a gold mine. Look around very well and utilize the experiences you have. Utilize it to money. Monetize it and begin to build wealth for yourself. That is the essence of this channel, to help you to look inwards and come out with results and solutions, and begin from your broke situation and move to a situation where you will be very stable financially, and even help other people to learn and then do the same thing that you have done. That is the essence of this channel. So if you have been getting value from these discussions, please, why don't you hit the like button? Hit the like button, subscribe, and share the video to your friends. At the same time, turn on your notifications so that when we do other videos, you'll be the first to see it. So what I'm trying to say here is this. Start checking your areas, start checking the opportunities that are within your environment and monetize it. Check your experiences, check what you have done before, check what you are doing now, check what you feel that people around the area where you are need, and begin to serve them. Turn it to money, turn it to capital, turn it to something that will serve people, give them value, and then return money to you. That is how to build wealth. In my previous video where I talked about the power of OPR, I told you people that I started a cleaning company. With my discussion so far, you will now understand the reason why I started that cleaning company. I started it because I already have the experience. I already know what is involved in cleaning and how it can be done, especially in a place like a hotel. So it was easy for me to start the business, and I was able to make money with it. Another place where I utilized this strategy is when I was about going for youth service. When I was about going for youth service, because anytime I am free from my work or from school, I will come to my brother's office. He's a photographer. I will come to his office to help out. And because of that, I have idea of photography because I also help in doing the job. So when I was going for youth service, I carried a small camera with me. So when I went for for youth service. After the camp, we came out, the area where we are serving, I became the photographer for all the corpers there. In any event that is organized, whether our convention, whether it's a party, whatever it is, even in our working place, I became the photographer. You know, then there was nothing like this smartphone whereby people will be their own photographer. Then we snap with our normal camera. So if you need anything photographed, you must look for a photographer. So, but now people can just turn their phone to camera and snap anything they want. But then photographers are needed for anything photography. So I was using my camera, my small camera, and I was actually doing quite very well there. Apart from the money I earned from this, my primary assignment, another thing that was fetching money for me is my camera. So the experience I had while helping my brother to, helping him out in his office, I was able to turn it to money. My own experience may not be like your own, but actually there is nobody that doesn't have experience. Anything you are doing, whether helping out, all of them combines to become your experience. Check how you can monetize it and use it to build wealth for yourself. That is how it works. Now, another area where I use, in fact, that was an area that actually gave me a breakthrough. Yes, look at this book. Let me show you this book. Look at this book. Look at this book. Look at this book. Abuja City Trace. Under it, you see, trace it yourself. And then look at it. Here we said a Abuja City Guide and Directory. Look at it. You may be asking, what concerns this book with what we are discussing? Now see, I was able to use this book to create a strong relationship with organizations, both government organizations, both individual organizations, dark communications, government offices and parastatals, Tel magazine, and so many others. If you look inside, you will see organizations that were able to work with me on this project. You see so many organizations that were able to work with us, urban shelter, so many of them that worked with us on this project. Now, how did it come about? I told you when I came to Abuja newly, trying to go up and down, walking the streets of Abuja, trying to secure an employment. The experience I had then, combined with the experience I had as a marketer, going the streets of Abuja in search of opportunities, marketing our products and the rest. With that, I have a good knowledge of the routes within the metropolis. And with time, I now begin to see that people used to ask me, how do I get to this place? How do I get to that place? And when they keep asking me this, I keep helping people out to locate their way in Abuja. Then something occurred to me. Why don't you monetize this experience? Why don't you monetize it? And because of that, I started this project. This is a city guide, a city directory that will help you to trace your way when you are in Abuja. We call it Trace It Yourself. That is the slogan of this book, Trace It Yourself. Now, that was how I started this project, a city guide. Understand something here. I am not the only one who had this experience, because I know that so many other people also have good knowledge of the city metropolis, yes. But I converted my own to money. That is the difference. The difference between you and the person who is still sitting on a job, collecting salary, and you who moved out to start a business is that audacity to go out and start. So that is the difference. It's not as if they have something special. They don't have. It's not as if that they are the only one that knows it better. In fact, if I check, I will tell you that in the streets of Abuja, I am not the one that knows the streets better. But I was able to convert the little one I know to money. It was a lucrative business for me. The only thing was that Google came. That is what they call business disruption. They use their technology to disrupt the business for us when they came with Google Map. So that is how it works. So convert your own experience to money. Where are you at this time? Which job are you doing? Where are you? Look around. Look around. There are things you can convert to money and begin to build wealth for yourself. Even if it did not work out, yes, you have tried. And let me tell you, failure is something that helps wealth builders to build. Failure does not mean that you have failed. No. When you fail, you learn. I will not tell you that in the course of my own journey, in fact, I have failed countless times. But all those failures were able to help me to build and become a better person. That was what helped me to become a better wealth builder. Because every failure is an experience for you. In fact, when you fail, you have paid to learn how not to fail. That is how it is. So, all wealth builder, there is no person today that have actually built wealth that will tell you that he or she did not fail. So, but when you fail, you go up, start all over again, and then you move on. That is how it is. Don't take any opportunity for granted. Always look out for opportunities because opportunities are always there. But it takes an ego eye to locate it. Yes, it takes somebody that is business minded to always locate opportunities that is embedded in the environment where he or she is. So I encourage you today to always check out for opportunities that are within your environment. Anywhere you are, anywhere you find yourself, there is a business part of that environment. Look for it, locate it. Your own experience, there is a business part of it. Look for it, locate it, and turn it to business so that you will build wealth for yourself and your generation. Now, see, people most times do complain, and when they are complaining within that environment, when I look at that environment, I see opportunities that are there, but will they be able to see it? And sometimes when you show them those opportunities, they may not take it serious. They will think that, is it not this thing? Is it not this thing? It's not just this thing. It depends on the way you package it. It depends on the way you package it. If you package it very well, it will give you money. That is one thing I know. So when you fail, you get up and start all over. That is how it works. It does not mean that you will not have challenges along the line. There are challenges that can come up, but your resilience and your determination to achieve results is what separates you from those who have started and those who are sitting down collecting salaries. If this video have actually given you value, please hit the like button, share the video and subscribe, and let's continue discussing on this issue of wealth building. Remember that the channel is Amy Wealth Money Lane, where we talk about everything that has to do with money and wealth building. Thank you for stopping by. Please start now because there is no time.